Hey everyone, in this video we're taking a look at one of Samsung's most interesting foldables yet, the brand new Galaxy Z Fold 8. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Demas Rusli and I'm a photographer and designer based in Sydney, Australia. I've been testing this Galaxy Z Fold 8 over the past few days, taking lots of photos, shooting lots of videos, and seeing what this completely new form factor is actually like to use. In this video, I'll first run through the updated design and specs, then because I'm a photographer, I'll take you through the cameras and show you some unedited photo and video samples. Alright, let's get started. The biggest observation with the new Galaxy Z Fold 8 is super obvious as soon as you pick it up. Unlike the tall and narrow fold phones we're used to, this one is significantly shorter and wider. When folded, it measures 123.9 by 81.9 by 9.7mm, giving it a passport-like shape that feels really compact in hand. Here it is next to the Galaxy Z Fold 7, which has the traditional fold shape, and here it is next to the Galaxy S26 Ultra. It's actually quite similar in width to the Galaxy S26 Ultra, but with a huge chunk chopped off at the top, making it much easier to use one-handed. When unfolded, it measures 129.9 by 161.4 by 4.5mm and gives you a wider inner display designed primarily for watching and consuming content. Here it is next to the Z Fold 7, which has similar proportions to the new Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra, and again, here it is next to the S26 Ultra. Here's a super fun comparison to the original Galaxy Z Fold 1. What a huge difference and growth in technology and innovation since 7 years ago. Just to clarify, Samsung also launched the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra, which keeps the familiar tall shape of previous Fold models. This Z Fold 8 is the one that introduces the completely new form factor, which Samsung calls it having a content native shape and ratio. The cover screen is roughly 10:16 ratio, making it well suited to vertical content, while the inner display is close to 4:3, meaning watching horizontal videos such a nice experience when unfolded. My first impression is that it feels really premium, solid, and comfortable to hold. The proportions take a little bit of getting used to, but after a few days, I've really enjoyed using it. The more rounded side edges give your thumb a better grip, making it easier to unfold. The crease inside has also been improved. You can barely see or feel it now, which is honestly really impressive. At 210 grams, it's super light for a folding device. You can really feel how light and thin it is when you're watching a horizontal video with the screen unfolded with one hand. It's only 4.5mm thick when opened and 9.7mm thick when closed, so despite having two screens and a folding mechanism, it still feels almost as slim as a normal bar phone. The cover screen is a 5.5-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X display with a resolution of 1248 by 1971 and an adaptive refresh rate from 1 to 120Hz. Inside is a 7.6-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X display as well, with a resolution of 1848 by 2448, also with an adaptive refresh rate from 1 to 120Hz. This inner display is where this new shape really starts to make sense. Watching YouTube, Netflix, sports, or other horizontal content feels immersive with less awkward cropping or unused space. You can also turn it vertical, and it's really nice for reading ebooks like a Kindle. One thing to keep in mind is that some third-party apps are still adapting to this new form factor. Common apps like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook out of the box can take a bit of time to get used to, but the experience can be improved by going into Settings, Advanced Features, then Labs, then Landscape View for portrait apps. Here, all you have to do is just activate the apps you want. Doing this makes the app feel much more natural to use horizontally. I'd expect this experience to keep improving as more developers optimize their apps for this new shape. The hinge also behaves slightly differently from previous fold phones. Traditionally, Flex mode lets you partially fold the phone and use it like a tiny laptop or built-in tripod at all angles. However, on this new Z Fold 8, once you open it roughly past halfway, the hinge naturally will want to open fully. You can still use it as a tripod at angles before the halfway point, but it's just a bit different to the experience we're used to on the traditional form factor. You can see this change in the camera app. Previous fold phones have a dedicated flex mode interface that moves the viewfinder beside the crease when partially folded. On this phone, the viewfinder remains across the middle of the display when partially folded. This makes it clear that the Z Fold 8 is focused less on flex mode and more on providing the best viewing experience when fully unfolded. If you're wanting more of that flex mode experience, then I'd probably go for the Z Fold 8 Ultra instead. Powering this Z Fold 8 is the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chipset, which is the same chipset as the Galaxy S26 Ultra. The phone comes in 256 gigs, 512 gigs and 1TB storage options. The 256 gig and 512 gig models have 12 gigs of RAM, while the 1TB version has 16 gigs of RAM. It has a 4800 mAh battery, which is impressive for something this thin and lightweight. From my initial testing, the battery has comfortably lasted a full day of photography, taking lots of 4K videos, and lots of social media and content consumption. The phone has an IP48 rating, a fingerprint reader that's built into the power button, it doesn't have S Pen support, and it also doesn't have the privacy display feature that was introduced with the Galaxy S26 Ultra. The colors available for this Galaxy Z Fold 8 are lavender, graphite and cream. The prices range from 2,699 Australian dollars for the 256 gig model to 3,599 Australian dollars for the 1TB version at the time of launch. Alright, so now let's talk about the cameras. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 has two rear cameras, a 50 megapixel 1x main camera at f1.8 and a 50 megapixel 0.6x ultra-wide camera at f1.9. The good news is that both cameras now use 50 megapixel sensors, giving you better consistency in image quality when switching between them. The downside here is that there's only two cameras and there's no dedicated telephoto camera. The ultra-wide is great for architecture, landscape and dramatic perspectives, while the main camera will probably be used most of the time. Because the main camera is 50 megapixels, the 2x digital zoom can still produce really good optical quality results. Because there is no dedicated telephoto camera, I was particularly interested to see how the 4x and 10x digital zooms would perform. At 4x, the first version you see as soon as you take the photo and open the preview looks a bit over-sharpened and processed, but after a second, Samsung's AI refines the image in the background. You can actually see it update into a noticeably cleaner and more detailed result. In good lighting, it looks like the quality of the 4x photos are pretty good even though it's digital zoom. The same processing also applies for the 10x photos, although the 4x results are more consistent and hold on to more detail. For me, the 4x zoom gives you a genuinely useful extra focal length even without the dedicated telephoto camera. I'd still love to see an optical zoom lens in a future version of this phone, but Samsung's processing does a really good job of extending the versatility of the main camera. For video, the horizontal lock feature introduced with the Galaxy S26 series is also available here. Once activated, it locks the horizon and makes handheld footage look much steadier. There are also two other cameras, both 10 megapixel f2.2 sensors on both the cover screen and the inner display. Because this is a foldable, you can also use the rear camera for higher quality selfies by opening the phone and using the cover screen as your preview. I've been testing the photo and video quality during my time with this phone, so here are some unedited photo and video samples straight out of the camera. Make sure you're watching this video in 4K so you can see everything at the highest possible quality. this is what the selfie camera looks like, and also a mic test. So here's what the selfie looks like using the ultra wide camera at 4K 30 FPS. This is what the selfie camera on the inside screen looks like at 4K 30 FPS. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 also includes Galaxy AI features you'd expect from any Samsung flagship. This includes Photo Assist, Audio Eraser, and Auto Trim. All of these are available across Samsung's wider Galaxy ecosystem, but the larger display on this phone really gives you more room for photo and video editing and multitasking. Another new feature is what Samsung is calling My Fan Cam, which lets you record a wider video and then reframe it around a particular person afterwards. For example, you could film a wide shot of yourself playing tennis, then create a focused vertical clip for social media usage without having to reshoot it, just like this. So after spending some time with this Galaxy Z Fold 8, I think this is one of Samsung's most interesting and experimental fold devices in a long time. The shorter and wider shape feels unusual at first, but it makes so much sense when you start watching content and using the inner display. The phone feels really premium in hand, it's lightweight and slim, and the inner screen crease is now barely noticeable. The two 50-megapixel cameras also produce solid results with good consistency between 0.6x and 1x. The AI-enhanced 4x zoom is useful too, but I would love to see an optical telephoto camera in this form factor in the future. I think this phone is best suited to someone who spends a lot of time watching videos, browsing content, and using their phone as a portable entertainment device. The large inner display is also great for multitasking and photo or video editing. It's a bold direction, and after using it for a few days, I can definitely see the appeal. During the Unpacked launch that just happened, Samsung also released the new Galaxy Z Flip 8 and the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra, as well as the new Galaxy Watch Ultra 2, which I'm definitely keen to get my hands on and try. So what do you think of this new Galaxy Z Fold 8 form factor? Do you prefer this shorter and wider design, or the traditional shape of the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra? Let me know in the comments below. And also, if you have any questions regarding the cameras, also drop a comment below. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing, and stay tuned for lots more videos coming soon. As always, thanks so much for watching, and remember to always push your creativity to the next level. Bye!